Welcome to color compare of the darkest green contrast and speed paints. Kind of a quick update one here. I finally got my hands on some Dark Angels green, and so now we're bringing the Absolution green and comparing those two, but we're going to see some other greens here a little bit later in the video. So, Dark Angels green versus Absolution green. I thought, possibly incorrectly, that these were going to be very similar. They are not. The Dark Angels green is much darker than the Absolution green for sure. Multiple coats with the Absolution green, I think you're going to get a similar effect, but then you are doing multiple coats, which you see how it's so dark in the recesses. It's not going to necessarily darken up more than that, but it just kind of makes it a little weird sometimes with these multiple coats of contrast and speed paint. Anyways, bringing in some of our other greens, I just kind of want to show you what this is and what this is not. And these are definitely not the bright greens, right? So our Striking Scorpion, our Tesseract Glow, and our Mantis Warriors still all very much on a different end of this spectrum. So we're not really going to worry about comparing it much to them. Then what we have, maybe kind of our kind of shiny or neon-ier greens with the Hexwraith Flame and the Karandros green. That is the old Hexwraith Flame, though I don't think it makes much of a difference. Again, we're not quite there. Where we are probably closest to is kind of these kind of greens, but you'll notice the difference in sort of brightness here. That is one thing that the Absolution and the Dark Angels green have in common, is they're both on that darker side, whereas you see these are more of a brighter, maybe happier green. So that's what we're really looking at here. For that reason, these two achieve the same effect. As in, they are in that dark green side, definitely distinct from the Orc Flesh, the Warp Lightning, and the Orc Skin. So if you're going for a dark green, even kind of like a more of a muted color is really what we're going for here, I think these two are great. Something interesting here is this Dark Angels green, it's very much labeled Dark Angels, right? Space Marines. Contrast on Space Marine armor, I have not had super great luck with. So maybe your experience is different. You can see on the channel there is a Space Marine I painted with some blue speed paint, and that's about how it comes out for me. It just looks a little splotchy, whereas I think Space Marine armor maybe shouldn't look so splotchy like that. This Dark Angels green, though, not a bad color. Absolution green, not a bad color. Of course, got to answer the question here of, if I owned neither of these, which one would I buy? And the answer is, I really don't care. This is kind of a bad answer, but what's probably going to happen is I'll end up buying so much of the speed paint that I would just get like one of the sets of speed paint, and it would just come with it, and then I wouldn't buy Dark Angels green also. So that's really more what I'm saying here. I don't have an immediate use for either of these colors. If I did want to paint something with these colors, say I need a dark green something for some reason, I pretty much am going to get this Absolution green as part of the speed paint set and go with that. If I didn't happen to have it as part of that larger set from painting other things, then, I mean, you're saving some money with that Absolution green, and it's going to probably do a fine job. If I was offered either of these, for free, which one would I take? I flip a coin, really. So there you go. Dark Angels green, not a bad color. I wouldn't mind painting with it, certainly. And so I don't want to say anything terrible about it or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. There you go. There is our darkest green contrast in speed paints. Well, I hope that was helpful to you in kind of seeing what these colors look like, and especially compared to all those other greens. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Let's get gaming.